Welcome everyone to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing. Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members only section of the website or sign up on Patreon. Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
Yep. No,
Sound good?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. All right, you want to kick this little...
Sally Forth.
Sally Forth? Is that like a Revolutionary War kind of a thing?
I got some charge.
Maybe
I'm not real
naval
sure what that
thing?
meant. I really don't know.
I don't know. No, look at the etymology of that word. Well, geez, welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Our Town Podcast.
No, extraordinary.
Coming to you from the Jet City Live and Cedar Stream studio space.
Yeah, very nice.
Yes.
The busy corner.
Yes.
Third Main.
Beautiful downtown in historic Renton, Washington. How are you folks? Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you.
It's the Mike and Charles show tonight. Jeff wasn't feeling super well, so we gave him the night off without pay, of course.
Yeah, of course. Come on. We're not that reasonable.
He used up all of his PTO already. How dare you? Mike, tonight's safe word, if either one of us is feeling unsafe, is fear.
Hi.
Just yell out fear and we'll stop this here program and check on you. That's because humans, I found out, are born with only 2 innate fears. Did you know this?
Yeah, and that's in a Brooke's brain or it's in a Sagan book.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Brain.
Well, CNN reported on it. That's where I got this information. Scientists have found that humans have just 2 innate fears. The fear of falling, which is a very real thing.
It hurts. Well, it's not the falling that hurts.
And the fear of loud sounds.
Oh.
So the rest of your phobias are all learned over time.
Yeah.
So
Getting stung by bees.
Yes. Bees is the worst. Falling is probably one of my biggest. I don't like being up on... I'm okay to be up in heights as long as I'm like OSHA protected. So I'm so glad we have OSHA still.
Yeah.
Don't know how long that's going to last.
But tied off or something at the very least.
Tied off, security railing, all that stuff.
No, I don't like ladders, stuff like that. And when I was a young person, I climbed a lot of trees and such, right? But now I don't bounce, right? It just kind of clunk.
Clunk and crack.
I think it's PHLUMPH. It's like a Don Martin sound effect.
It's some good sound effects, dude. You want to do some headlines?
Sure.
I mean, we were talking about this pre-show, and I mean, there's so much to say about this. I don't know even really where to begin or where to end on it, but the leaked battle plans to the Atlantic editor.
Right? There's nothing good or normal about that, and we have to not allow for us to brush under the rug or normalize state power ignoring the rule of law. Right, that's not.
No.
We cannot let that happen. We can't. It's happened a few times in American history, right? But we always look back on it as a huge mistake that we were very glad to have pulled democracy back from. Right.
It's and created protections around it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't happen again.
Yeah, these kinds of systems and institutions that got, sarcastically called deep state, right, when it's really just institutional wisdom, right?
Yeah.
And that was the goal, was to throw out these barriers to criminal behaviors, criminal and anti-democratic behaviors.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not cool. And it's shocking and disgusting.
And me personally got mad at, everybody makes a big deal out of Hillary Clinton's email server that she had that circumvented the rules around using email.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Pissed. Right? It was a stupid idea. And then we were all pissed at both Trump and Biden for loose handling, and Mike Pence, everybody's loose handling of classified documents, right? Stored in Trump's bathroom or in Biden's garage. And
just
stuff
shitty
like that.
behavior.
Just stupid behavior.
When Obama was doing extrajudicial drone strikes in like North Northeast Africa,
Yes.
right? It's like, that's not okay.
Right.
Right? And we can't allow it to be like, well, it's my team, But now it's far worse. Don't make any mistakes. Since the terrible days of the CIA, when we were in direct competition with the atrocities of the Soviets, right? That was the worst of times, right?
Yes.
But I think we're not too far from that. And in this case, it'll be against, like at least then they were excusing the idea that it was against the Soviets, right? We had to commit these dastardly anti-democratic things just to enable our power to survive against this Soviet threat.
Sort of like the Iran-Contra stuff.
All that kind of stuff. That was the excuse at the time.
Right.
But now we're really we kind of pick that side now, right? So now it's just going to be the uber powerful, just like mob bosses, basically, or feudal lords. Same kind of thing. There's no difference between a feudal lord and a mob boss except the style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's the same thing, and it's dumb, and it's beneath us. We should be way past it.
We should be, yeah.
It's beneath us. It's dumb.
Yeah. And technology is only getting better for those people that want to circumvent stuff, like using the Signal app.
Yeah.
Because
it erase it. But it's encrypted side to side. It's like, what? What? It's so I don't know, man. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
After they were told by their own NSA that Signal couldn't be counted on and cannot be used.
Right.
Verboten to be used.
Yes.
For any kind of.
But let's go ahead.
Yes. But let's go ahead and use it. And a bunch of other breaches because they just don't take. They assume that they are not within the rules.
Right.
That rules do not apply to them.
Yeah.
Because that's what they've been shown and told, right? And that is maybe in somebody's business, in a family business, you can do that, right? That's fine. If you want to rule by whim, right? Keep everybody feeling tense and threatened all the time. Cool. All right, that's your own business, right? You want to run your household that way? Seems dysfunctional to me, but I guess you have the right to do so.
Right.
But a democracy, you just don't run that way.
No.
Right?
Yes.
You don't really run the democracy.
Right.
Right? You work, whatever channels you have to improve the conditions within the democracy.
Yes.
What the fuck? Oh, man, it's so weird.
It is very weird, man. It is very weird. And I don't know. I just have a feeling the next, at least 2 years, right? A little under 2 years, are going to get worse.
I don't see how they couldn't. Right.
Just more shenanigans happening.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to learn from this, right?
Oh, well, there's no stick.
Right.
It's trillions of dollars.
That's what I'm saying.
Is the carrot.
Yeah.
I believe it couldn't not get worse.
Okay, gotcha.
It certainly will.
Gotcha, yes.
So, because look at these were all of course they went for the criminal immigrants.
Yes.
The illegal immigrants, they're the worst of the worst.
Well,
of which,
they were eating
of
the
course,
cats,
there's some
right?
terrible fucking human beings, right? Who have always lived here and who snuck across borders and broke laws. No shit, right? But that's not.
Yes.
They're going for the easy to pick fruit, right? Just to keep their numbers up. And don't forget, it's also a for-profit thing.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
flights flying those guys out of here. Oh yeah, no, that's private enterprise, bro.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
All
a
the private
for-profit
prisons, all
mechanism to usurp the rule of law.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and they're using taxpayer dollars to go capture that person to put them in that for-profit environment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like no overhead cost to get them.
Yeah. No, it's all, and I mean, that's been done before, privatized prison systems in general. But then we're all disgusted by the prison pipelines, right? Because it's disgusting and it's anti-liberty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the reverse of liberty. If the state is actively working people into incarceration, that is not life, liberty, nor the pursuit of happiness. Right?
Yeah.
It's a perversion, right?
And there's
we're
no
disgusted by that.
rehabilitation.
This isn't any better.
No.
Right? Those might have been citizens in that type of pipeline, but it's the same disgusting, evil shit, right? Weird. What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
I don't know. I don't. And the other party, right? I don't see enough from them. And I realize, it's hard for the minority party in
Not really.
all
Not
the
really.
branches, but
No, yeah.
there's stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's
They could be demanding, the filibusters on every single fucking thing in the
everything.
Senate, and
Yes.
just running. Oh yeah, no, they're not complete. They don't have subpoena power, maybe.
Right.
Or a majority, but there's plenty of shit they could be doing. Plenty.
and they're just
Oh
not.
yeah.
Just
I don't get it, dude. Well, I do get it, right? Because there's a lot of the same dirt is on all hands, right? In a lot of cases.
yeah.
But they did just recently give themselves in that CR bill. They got a raise.
The whole Congress
Yeah,
did?
Congress got a raise.
Yeah, it's a
At
good
their
job if you
lowest,
can get it.
their lowest approval rating in American history, and the least amount of work. So they've totally given up their power, and it's not just the power of the purse. They're the legislative branch.
Right.
They're the house. They're the closest to us.
Right.
That's why it's every 2 years, right? It's like that was the whole point of that, to them to be more receptive, and they have completely given up their job. So they got a raise for doing nothing now, right? Just bloviating. Oh man, it's not cool. It's not cool.
Man.
And it's I partly blame us because we have allowed for it to be fooled by the lies on and just tricked
Are
and
you,
not been participatory.
Are you a pro term limit guy?
No, because it's not in Constitution,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's been found to be constitutional.
Yeah.
But I think if somebody's, and the way that especially at the federal level, I guess, but the way it's set up, it's like, it takes a long time to get into committees and to get to chairmanships
really
committees, and
does,
they're the ones to
yeah.
actually pick what the fuck happens, all this kind of stuff, for better or for worse, right? It's like,
And Tom Hartman always talks about we have term limits. It's every 2 years.
yeah,
You have the
yeah.
opportunity.
If we were participatory,
If we're
right, and actually paying
participatory,
attention
yeah.
and demanded that attention could be paid,
Yeah.
right, for
Yeah.
one, and just got as much transparency as possible,
Yeah.
and instilled as many bumper guards as possible. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
right?
I'm almost in favor of it, just because I'd like to see turnover. I'd like to see attrition and
sure.
and stuff. But like you said, there is the flip side of that: is you get somebody in there that's doing right,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
been able to attain one of those chairmanships,
Sure.
And is actually producing good works. And then now I got to go.
Which can't happen. And it's been kind of in all of the above, but it's like, where is the money going?
Yeah.
Right? Amongst a lot of other shit that happens. But that's the part that the ordinary people are most concerned about, 'cause that's their money, right? So
Yeah.
they're like, they want to know that there's something coming back for that. And I really think that people get helping others, right? And the idea of a civilization, because we've all experienced it, right? So the idea that I pay into a school that I don't have any kids, right? But I do, but
But it makes the
it's
community
hypothetical,
better. Right,
or
it makes
whatever.
the community better.
Yeah, you pay into systems that you yourself won't use because it's for a common wealth, which is our life, liberty, and happiness.
Right.
Right? Is our common wealth.
Yeah.
So we're all paying into that to kind of,
And don't forget good roads and fire departments and police.
Medic
and
One.
Medic
it's like,
One.
Yeah. There's plenty of places where
Hospitals.
that doesn't exist,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't know. I think overall it's just like people either see us as I don't know, something just not worthy of dignity, and other people see us as a creature worthy of dignity, right? I think it really just comes down to like a weird worldview. And if if a person feels like they can step on somebody else for their own, to do better, then
To gain
it's-
more.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's weird.
Yeah.
And I don't think
lizard
it's
people, I think.
Kind of, it's the lizard part of the brain.
It is,
right?
yeah.
It's that little nub, the crocodile nub, where it's like the moment their child hatches, it's now competition, and they'd eat the motherfucker
Right. Yeah.
if given the chance, right? So it's just like, that's not us. We're mammals. We like squishy stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Big pretty goth girls.
I can't argue with that. No, I didn't laugh at that
correct,
joke,
Bobby.
honey. I didn't laugh at that joke. Oh my gosh. Mike, I was going to talk about this next thing because Jeff actually brought it to my attention. I think you had already seen something on the Egyptian underground tunnels and stuff. I sort of read another article about
I
it.
did too.
And they're saying no. I mean, it's probably just picking up like...
The technology they use doesn't really go that deep.
Yeah.
So they switched it to sound waves, which kind of can.
Right.
But then they completely extrapolated what these lighter spots could mean.
So originally it was that there was like almost an underground city underneath the pyramids, right? It's like this massive chambers and spiral staircase that went all the way down.
Yeah, like a third of a mile down.
Yeah,
like huge,
nuts.
huge.
And we were joking like that's the gates of hell, right?
Yeah, do not open that door, bro. Yeah, no door.
I don't know if
seen that movie, dude.
What's the dude's name? Who's the handsome boy?
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce or the guy from The Mummy. Shit, now I can't think of the whale. George of the Jungle guy.
Everybody loves that.
They're not up to taking out a mummy right now. I don't think so. I think Bruce Campbell's got to be in his 70s, right?
Maybe he's like, and he's trying to retire from the shtick. He's like, I'm an actor.
Got to break out the boomstick. Yeah. So originally it was this huge chamber, and they like all excited about it, and they're imagining. I think the imaginations went into these.
There's a power plant.
These crazy canals and shit. But so I wanted to talk to Jeff a little bit about that. But it sounds like it might not necessarily a hoax, but that they just used the wrong technology.
I think they had an inch and took a mile with it. I really do. But cool. That's great. You know what I mean? And it's still fascinating. All of that stuff is...
It's super fascinating.
Incredible. It's incredible. And all the stuff, who knows what else, right? Yeah. There's a bunch of other stuff I'm sure we haven't found, right? Because I remember years ago I saw maps of like, where the coastline was during the Ice Age at certain times, right? Because the Ice Age was relatively long,
Right.
For human terms it was, and so where our migration patterns would have been and how coastlines went much further inland. I'm doing air quotes on inland. And now they're covered. So there could be massive amounts of something that's covered, right?
One of our fans saying hi.
Can I hear from my lawyer kid?
Speaking of gates of hell, there's been a talk about a recession indicator, which I found kind of funny. It's a DoorDash recession indicator. I don't use DoorDash very often. Sometimes we'll do like Uber Eats, but it's so costly. But they actually came up with a payment plan if you order on DoorDash. They've teamed up with Klarna.
Yes, which I didn't know was a thing until recently.
Yeah.
Is that a new thing?
I think they just did it recently.
Okay.
Klarna's been around for a while, but that's
for furniture and stuff, right?
like Temu or I don't know, stuff you order online.
Okay.
You can put 4 easy payments, So now you can, if you're ordering lunch and getting a burrito, and
you can pay later.
You can.
Does it help if you pay them in time? And I know you don't work for these people, but do you think that helps your credit if you did that 100 times and paid whatever extra? Because they got to be making money somehow.
And the extra is probably like 25 cents,
whatever it might be.
30 cents or something.
I wonder if it actually helps credit ratings.
It could,
maybe. Because then I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
If it's just a way for them to like do credit without credit's protections, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Because like a credit card, it protects the buyer in a lot of cases, right?
Yeah.
So,
I remember years ago, and there was
promoting credit cards.
Before Temu, there was like this weird it wasn't even online. It was like by mail thing where you could buy like Tupperware and you could buy household goods and do those payment
and to
plans.
Finance it or whatever.
And finance it.
Yeah, the finance people have been around a long time.
Right.
But this
kind of feels like the same thing. And I was always told, do one of those. Get something cheap, get a $50 socket set or something, and then pay it off in a year, and and that'll help build your credit. And all this stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So I don't know. That might be. I don't know. But the joke is that people aren't able to afford their $30 burrito, so they got to throw it on.
I bet there's plenty of people who can, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's a thing.
Yeah.
And there are food deserts, etc., right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't seem a sustainable or real positive economy. But I think there really is. We'll be in recession this next, because recession is just a non-growth for like 2 quarters or whatever that is, or 3 quarters in a row, or something like that. It's not like, I don't think that's inherently a gasping moment.
Yeah.
But I think the fair question is, are we going to crash?
Right. That's
Right. That's a different question. And
because you get all the way back to 2008 when they called it the Great Recession, right? Because we were right there on the brink.
Yeah, and a lot of bubbly stuff, and it's like, there's still plenty of bubbles, and a lot of it built on government paying.
Right.
The portion of our GDP that really is government spending is just big, and that's not a bad thing necessarily.
Right.
It's a weird cult that decided FDR was wrong in that. Right. FDR was wrong in some things, and he did, some terrible shit too, right? But also he saved millions of Americans. So he did lock up Japanese people,
And to lead up to the 2008 thing, that's true.
Which we regretted ever since.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it did absolutely fucking no good, and then we stole their property.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a.
It wasn't like we're just going to hang on to your businesses, your homes.
I'm pretty sure that's Fourth Amendment right there, right? I don't think I'm making that up. That made the top 4.
Right.
Yeah.
But right before the 2008 crash, which it was a lot of deregulation stuff coming out of the Bush administration, right?
So dumb.
And now they're
so dumb.
They want to do that again.
Yeah.
They want to take away the regulations on banks and stuff.
And the attacks on education then, right? But now it's fucking 50 times, 100 times worse, right? On elections, right? Because now it's like, if now to vote, you have to show that you're a citizen, proof of citizenship, which is not a driver's license, right? It's like, so if you don't have a passport or like a paper birth fucking certificate that's a pain in the ass to get copies of, right? You can't vote now? Really? Really?
And turned away, not even given the opportunity to pull the lever and then have it questioned in court.
Yeah. No.
Just turned away.
Yeah.
You're just not even going to get the
And they only have to do that once, bro.
Yeah.
They just have to do that once.
Yeah. And then I'm never going back, right?
Or it just wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
After that,
That's true, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, they'll just declare an emergency, dude. Right? What the fuck? Yeah, the reason we're throwing dudes in. Sorry, this off topic.
No.
But throwing dudes down to El Salvador. Oh, rough, bro. Is because we said that gang, it's a national emergency. Like, just declaring an emergency is not the same, dude.
As opposed to just arresting them.
Yeah, because that's why they don't have to have due process, et cetera, et cetera. Then it's just like, how is that not an abuse of power? I'm not pro fucking gangs, dude. But I'm pro due process for even shitty people, dude.
Are they even going to a judge before they go in for
none of it, dude.
Get on the plane and you're out?
Nope, there's no judges involved.
Wow.
Yeah. And oh man, and I just really hope, and that's a fair question. Also off topic, and I apologize. But is it better to have an innocent person go to prison or put to death? Is it better for an innocent person to be put to death or a guilty person to go free?
Yeah.
Right? That's a fair question, one we need to ask ourselves right now.
It is, yeah.
Right? Because people are just getting picked up with and there's always been perversions of justice, no fucking done, right? But that wasn't the policy necessarily. But now it's policy. Yeah. Right? Just to skip that part. Oh, man. Sorry, dude. Anyway.
No, you're good. You're good. And I think that was all on topic. And, John 3:16, right? Innocent people.
Oh, yeah. Austin 3:16, dude. That's stone cold for president. Let's just fucking
Let's just do it.
Knocking dudes out.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man. I found a little article I thought was pretty cool. because I think about Chernobyl. I watched the Chernobyl miniseries, which was excellent, just a great series if you've seen it. But scientists have been studying the animal life around the disaster area for many, many years, and measured their the isotope levels in all the animals. And most of the animals, it's been dropping steadily over the years, because we're like 30 some odd years.
Do you know if it were animals that the same animal they kept checking, or
I don't know
just
if it's the same or just offspring?
But they're just looking for deer or rabbits
certain kind of deer,
sure.
and they may be tagging them so that they know which over the lifetime. I don't know how long a deer's lifetime is.
And I don't know. I bet
8 years or something.
It depends on how lucky they are. Yeah.
So it's been steadily going down, which is encouraging for that area. Right, that it's sort of healing itself and that kind of stuff. But wild boars in that area have actually been rising. And at first they thought it was just because they're ground animals and they dig in the dirt, they root through the dirt,
and
which is true.
And shit.
Well, it's the mushrooms they think is what's causing it. Is I guess that area was also used for a lot of nuclear testing over the years, nuclear weapon testing by the Soviets over the years. So the thought is that these animals, these boars, are digging down like 20 to 40 centimeters or something like that, getting way down to get to the roots, and then
which is where some of this particulate is
these
made
isotopes are actually sinking into the earth.
So that they want to be at the very molten center. That's where they're trying to get to.
Yes. So as they sink lower and lower, these boars are the ones that are getting down to it, and so their levels are still highly increased. Right?
Does that mean the bacon's like cooked? It's like you don't have to cook your bacon. It's just crazy. Just put one in a headlock. Just start chopping.
You might want to wipe it down first, but just dive in. A little mayo, a little tomato, a little lettuce.
Oh, man.
It's like nice white bread. Dive in.
Geez, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But that's in Ukraine, correct?
That's in Ukraine,
yes.
At least in that, because Chernobyl's like northern Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
Like way central northern or something.
Out of the breadbasket, right?
But they're also thinking that these mushrooms... they've got like networks, right? Mushrooms create these
mycelium.
networks. So they're taking that mycelium is, cruising, taking shit from way over here.
And famously, they are going to, at least the heavy metals and stuff like that, which are sort of cousins of these radioactive metals, right? Just that heavier mineralized stuff, right? And heavy salts and shit can get, they're pretty amazing at times.
Yeah, it's crazy. The fucking humans just...
That'd be a cool story. How about the hot rodders have to go through Siberia, and there's a bunch of weird mushroom-eating radiation mushroom eaters.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing an episode where they actually go into like a commune, and they do have to eat some mushrooms, and then they get all fucking psychedelicized, right? And it turns out that the hippies that are living there are actually cannibals.
Oh, no.
But they're all
always
like...
works out.
Having too good a time.
Well, watch for the lady with the leg warmers.
Oh, Mike, in another study, and I don't know, are you a kimchi guy? Are you a fermented foods?
I like fermented foods, not particularly
not kimchi. Okay, sometimes, small quantities.
Sure. It's very, it's striking. It's a very striking, distinct set
like
of
coleslaw,
flavors.
stuff like that I really like. But that's not, I guess that's not necessarily...
Oh, sure it is.
It's fermented, but depends on how long. I don't know, does fermentation take a while to...
I suppose it's what you're looking to get
It's
in the
like
end,
kimchi
right?
sits around for a while.
I think, yeah.
But I don't know, maybe.
But the thing with fermented foods is just like if you're pickling something, same kind of thing. I mean, they can sit forever. They just,
sit in the brine or whatever.
We are the brine.
A new study is suggesting that kimchi and miso and foods like that, yogurt, have major mental health benefits.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it may help reduce anxiety and depression because it influences that gut bacteria. And that gut bacteria, when you have a happy gut, then it makes your brain, because it's so in tune with your stomach and that
your
whole
second
area.
brain or whatever, right?
Yes, they're so in tune that it'll actually reduce that stress and anxiety.
Yeah, and
in
because
your
of
brain.
biochemistry or because of synapse action, or do you know what the mechanism of that is? Because I know I've heard that for many years, that your gut, air quotes, is your second brain, right? That it does
Right.
influence not just mood, but all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Like how your glandular systems function, all that kind of stuff, the hormonal systems, etc. But I don't know what the mechanism is that causes that to happen.
Yeah, it just says that it reduces activity in the amygdala part of the brain.
It's my favorite princess.
And that's the part of the brain that's responsible for processing fear and emotions.
Oh, geez.
So if it can calm that down, then it calms down all your emotions and stuff like that. So,
Jeez, that's something.
yeah, and you got all those good probiotics
I think
in your
it's-
gut and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because
So,
we
yeah.
are, whether we like it or not, we're just about 90% of the cells in our bodies are bacterial cells,
Yes.
right? They're not our human cells at all.
Right.
So we're just a vehicle for them. So of course, their functioning affects our functioning.
Yeah.
It would be impossible otherwise, right?
Right.
So, and just promote those systems with healthy, right input, right?
Yeah.
Behavior and food.
Yeah.
Most I take probiotics every day.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But my shit still stinks.
Activia.
yeah.
Mike, have you ever had to have an uncomfortable conversation with somebody? Are you doing that right now?
Yes, I have.
Psychologists and stuff suggest taking a walk when you need to have a difficult conversation in another study. They say it's because several factors. One, you're out in the great outdoors, so there's a lot of fresh air, and there are some distractions, some pleasant distractions, but also because as you're walking, you're not eye to eye with the person, which can seem kind of confrontational and argumentative. You're kind of side-eyeing, and as you're walking, your eyes should be constantly sort of scanning back and forth, so that rapid eye movement, I forget what they call it, it's EMDR, it stimulates that. I guess it's called bilateral stimulation, which helps the brain desensitize and reprocess the information that's coming in.
Jeez.
So I always find
That
it's
kind of makes sense.
decent to,
Yeah.
And then, you're
you're
not
not just
in a
hyper-focused.
contained area where you're
Yeah.
going to get socked in the face if you're having that uncomfortable.
You did what?
You can start running. So yeah, it's always a good
Yeah.
thing to kind of take a walk and get it out. Plus, you're exercising, so there's got to be something about the act of the
circulation
the deep
and
breaths and the
breathing and
circulation and
sure,
stuff like that. So,
I would think in addition.
Right.
Yeah. But just, like you say, and even slow walking, you're not just your animal brain, but, just you look side to side, you have motion, balance, all these other things going on, so you can't just hyperfixate on this person who's tripping you up.
You're right. Yeah. It's interesting stuff. So tonight we learned, you can chew right into a boar in the Chernobyl area, just bacon. That you should eat a lot of kimchi or fermented foods and take a lot of walks. It's good for you, especially if you have to have a difficult conversation.
Awkward conversation with a radioactive boar.
As you're biting into it.
Buddy.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah. Pot-bellied pigs. Does anybody grow those guys for food? It's like
I
feed them some little radiation.
I always
pellets.
thought that they stayed really small.
I really don't know.
But they don't. They can get really big, and I'm like, wait, I thought they sold them as these cute little
teacup poodle kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know, man. They're not cute. Get a cat. What the fuck is wrong with people? Cats are furry, and you know what I mean? It's like they poop in
Soft
a
and
box.
cuddly.
You don't even have to fucking way. It's easy.
You don't have to take them for a walk.
No, man, they chill. It's nice.
Feed them a couple times a
Fucking
day.
Pigs aren't cuddly, right? Are they?
Yeah, I don't
know.
Every cat I've ever had, I could just fill the food bowl and just make sure it was
Yes.
full.
And some water on the side.
And some water
They're
on the
stoked.
side.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
good. Yeah. You don't have to feed them twice a day. Like my dogs, if I
Well,
put
we
food
do.
in the bowl,
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah.
They're like, is there more? Is there more?
Yeah.
Is there more?
Yeah. Dogs are very in the moment.
They are very
Yeah.
in the
It's very sad.
Well, we laugh, but tonight's subject, Mike, I came up with was humor because
very nice,
it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
It makes life easier.
Sure.
Right?
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
without
Not
it.
just as a coping mechanism, but as an enjoyable thing. Yeah. And I don't think it's only humans that do it. We might be the
No.
ones who do stand up.
Yeah.
But for sure.
No,
sure.
the great apes are known for
sure.
doing. I mean, they throw poop and
Oh,
do
yeah,
stuff.
but I mean, poop's funny.
Poop's funny, and farting's never not
Yeah, there's
funny.
no way. No. Farts are all. I don't care your species. There's some sandworm on Arrakis right now who's cracking up because his cousin fucking lit one. You know, like just the way it is.
Oh my God. Well, humor is defined as that quality which appeals to a sense of the ludicrous or absurdly incongruous, a funny or amusing quality, right? And people of all ages and cultures respond to humor. Most people are able to experience humor, be amused, smile, laugh at something funny, such as a pun or joke, and thus are considered to have a sense of humor. Some people absolutely have no sense. Have you ever met somebody that has like no sense of humor?
Jeez, I don't know.
I've met some really dry people,
Some
but
super
at
dry,
some
but,
point
yeah.
I've gotten them to smile,
Yeah.
sort of
Oh, yeah.
pull out of it. But
Yeah.
Mike, have you heard a few years ago they identified the oldest joke in history, and it's an ancient Sumerian proverb, and I think it around 1900 BC, right? And it was toilet humor. It was basically fart humor, right? And they translated it to quote, something which has never occurred since time immemorial. A young woman did not fart in her husband's lap.
That's funny.
Because even back then, I'm sure the ladies were like, ooh,
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh, funny.
Can't
Oh,
fart
my
in front
God.
of my husband. They think that joke may actually date all the way back to 2300 BC, which
No, I
is
believe it.
crazy. But
Who's the lady I saw you at the party with? That's no lady. That's my wife.
I was going to talk about that as one of the big
old
funnies.
shit.
But it was like 1900 BC where they actually found this like tapped into a tablet
took the
somewhere.
time.
Like somebody actually fucking wrote this thing down.
Because he's been slapping his knee for fucking 3
I
weeks.
gotta
over
write
it.
this down. Save it for posterity. Oh man! Well, in the United States, in the 1920s, the vaudeville acts were the king, right? Will Rogers doing his cowboy stories and his rope tricks. And then W.C. Fields was, he would tell jokes as he juggled.
Oh,
right?
geez, all right, yeah.
And stuff like that. A lot of clean acts, like, take my wife, please, kind of stuff. But a lot of racism, too. A lot of blackface. And,
Lots
shit
of
like
punching
that.
down humor.
Stereotypes and stuff like that, yeah.
For sure. Because, that's lowbrow shit, right?
It
It's
really
like-
is, yeah. 1930s was more about the film era, like
And
the silent
radio,
film.
yeah.
So your Laurel and Hardy, your Marx Brothers, Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, guys like that. The witty one-liner.
More and character driven stuff.
Right, and very exaggerated,
Yeah, Marx Brothers.
I was
went
thinking
forever.
Yeah, Groucho with it.
Oh, yeah, forever. Yeah.
By the 1940s, you mentioned radio. The radio was the thing. Jack Benny, Fred Allen, Bob Hope. A lot of, again, clean family type.
Sure. Yeah, for radio anyway.
Yeah,
And Yeah, still, some race shit in there.
Yes, yeah. For sure.
During the war and before the war, right? But worse during the war, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
But there was also a World War.
And a lot of that racist shit didn't go away for a long time. 1950s, of course, was the golden age of TV. So Lucille Ball, Joan Rivers, Sid Caesar, Don Rickles, Dean
Uncle
Martin,
Milty,
and, Jerry Lewis, stuff like that. A lot of slapstick physical stuff, right?
Sure. Because the medium changes the not just the delivery, but what's being delivered,
yes,
right?
The sight
because you can do stuff on stage, you know what I mean? And vaudeville guys, they might have had a Foley sound effects person, but probably not. And I think they also had to do juggling, kicking a seal.
Kind of had to do it all, right? Spinning plates,
all that shit at once, because you got to be bigger than everybody behind you.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh man, but radio changes that because you're not watching it happen.
Right.
So they have to write it in such a way that the imagination can show these things happening that the Foley guy can pull off. Right?
Yeah.
But then TV came along and that's totally different.
Shells.
Yeah. Everything. Footsteps, punching a piece of fucking beef or something. Like, oh man.
It's good. I'm happy to say with Hot Rodders, there's so much free Foley out there that we don't. It would be kind of fun to kind of create some of our own.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Come over to the workshop and we'll record a bunch of stuff. But we also, late 50s, we also started seeing some guys like Lenny Bruce appear, right? Some more edgy stuff. He had to perform in a lot of like strip clubs and what's the word? Burlesque type places, to get his stuff. Careful out there, guys. It's just a fan honking at us. 1960s, they called it the new wave of comedians. Mort Saul, Phyllis Diller, and then comedy albums were really big. Bob Newhart and Bill Cosby and stuff.
Was that the 60s?
That was the 60s, yeah. Probably early 60s into, I think Bill Cosby had one of the biggest selling albums of the 60s because he did.
Is that Abe Lincoln? Or what is it?
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And The 1,000-Year-Old Man by Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner. Yeah. I think that sold a bazillion copies.
Yeah, for sure.
What was Newhart's? Yeah, it's one long bit, right?
Yes. And very dry. Just, brilliant, but... Geez. By the 70s, we started getting more into sketch comedy. So you had like the Laugh-In, Saturday Night Live, Flip Wilson Show, and Hee Haw, stuff like that. Richard Pryor, George Carlin, and Steve Martin become just massive.
Stadium comics.
Stadium comics.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Steve Martin was the first stadium comic.
When did that album come out? The huge one, King Tut one.
King Tut was huge.
Was that early 80s though?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But he had a couple before that too.
Let's Get Small as a Destroyer.
That would have had to have probably been late 70s.
I sure think so. That feels right.
Just massive. Took it to another level for stand-up comics. Got out of the comedy clubs, got out of the burlesque joints and the bars and stuff. And
it just opened it up to a much wider audience.
And
Richard Pryor was a killer.
Oh my
God. Me and Steve Stir, like his big brother. I think John had all those, right? George Carlin and Steve Martin and stuff that we knew we shouldn't be listening to, but we did, and we laughed. Most of it were probably beyond us anyway, but some of it was just so outlandish that you couldn't help but be just startled so much you had to laugh. Richard Pryor just did, he was good.
My son and I still quote, like, doesn't he know I'm a veteran? And he'd be like, I'm a veteran of the Battle of the Chateaubriand. I got mustard gas burns all up and down my body. Just start quoting shit. But it's great. And then also in the 70s, we had some anti-comedy like Andy Kaufman was
sure.
big.
Yeah.
Even because Taxi would have started like 78, 79, right?
And he was already doing stuff.
And he was already
right?
doing stuff.
Oh, yeah. Who else? Just kind of, almost like performance art. But,
And I guess Steve Martin could be kind of considered.
Kinda. I think but he wrote for like Smothers Brothers, so his pedigree was in comedy,
right?
But it was kind of obtuse and wacky, you know.
But like you said, Tiny Tim with the
it was just a little wacky. And not Yakov Smirnoff, but the guy with the Uno haircut and shit. There's
I can't think of his name. Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing with comedy. It's like, it's not just what's in, like, I'm not telling people what's with comedy, but it's not just the written word, it's the delivery.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't make the yuck with just the written words or whatever, the joke. It's how you tell the joke.
Yeah, you could say the words, but they might not come out. Yeah. Like Judy Tenuta, but I think she was maybe more 80s. Do you remember her? She had the accordion, and she would just do these dumb, dry, very brash kind of jokes, and she's colorful outfits and stuff like that. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh man! By the 1980s, Mike, the late night shows were super huge. So the Johnny Carson brought in all those comics like Jay Leno and Stephen Wright and Jerry Seinfeld, and all those guys would show up on all those late night shows doing their thing. But also in the 80s, we had the next sort of generation following Richard Pryor and George Carlin, where you had like the Eddie Murphys,
Joe Piscopo,
my God, I forgot about that dude. Robin Williams, Janine Garofalo, from back in, she was like mid 80s when she
timeless. I'm Garofaloco. I love that lady.
Yeah, and Robin Williams was just. I know he
was huge.
Yeah, just a little energized with some help, but just crazy in his own. Yeah, just
he's amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, such a talent. By the 1990s, we sort of introduced, and I don't know if this is because of like Howard Stern and Shock Jock kind of stuff, but the more raunchy comics, right? Sam Kinison and Andrew Dice Clay and stuff like that. Chris Rock being able to talk about more off-color stuff, I guess, more
more topical
those guys,
stuff.
More topical stuff, because those guys have been doing.
He and Chappelle and such, well, it wasn't just shtick, right? It was
tell stories.
And just the observational
about
comedy and such.
And stuff,
I think Chris Rock is a great comic.
I think so too, And then by the 2000s, we had more political, topical issues. The Dave Chappelle, Sarah Silverman, folks like that. Silverman's pretty funny. She hasn't done much lately.
I don't know. I haven't been looking.
Yeah. Jeez. But there are a few theories on humor from over the years. There's the theory, it's called the relief theory, suggests humor is a mechanism for pent-up emotions or tension through emotional relief. Laughter being the best medicine, which I really think it is. I mean...
And we see that sometimes in tense situations or whatever, right?
Yeah, you can diffuse situations by being a funny guy.
Yeah, because it kind of breaks down barriers, and people can be vulnerable when they laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The class clown that's about to get punched by the bully or something like that. Yeah. Over the years.
Yeah, like class clown's a hard enough job, people. He doesn't need any more stress. It's hard.
It's hard work, man. There's also the superiority theory, which is the idea that a person laughs about the misfortunes of others because they feel superior.
Yeah.
So,
like
but watching the guy trip or whatever. And we'll talk more about that a little little later because it's stupid. That's
weird.
probably the
It's
only
just
humor
lazy.
I don't
think
like.
It's just lazy. I mean, there's some stupid shit I'll laugh at, right? But I recognize that it's lazy.
But not to be mean in your own.
No, sure. Yeah, it's not my style.
See some kid trip and drop his ice cream cone.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know.
It might be. I mean, it might be
tragic.
funny, but you're not doing it into his face.
No, I don't think I'm laughing at that at all. Actually,
yeah.
I'd probably end up buying him some ice cream.
Yes, exactly.
Then he just becomes entitled and spoiled. I ruined everything.
Goes up to be
Should have
president.
laughed at him.
Goes up to be president. Damn it, Mike.
Sorry.
Oh, man. There's also the disposition theory, and that is explained that in media and entertainment, audiences make moral judgments, and the attitude, the disposition towards a person can affect the audience's experience of humor. So audiences enjoy the attempts of humor when good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people.
Jeez, all right.
So
I would say in our storytelling in general, right?
yeah, I would
Whether
think
it's humorous
so.
or not.
Yeah, whether it's funny or not, we always want to see the bad guy get his,
Right.
and we want to see the good guy.
Yeah, because it doesn't happen in real life very often.
It really does. Sometimes you root for the bad guy because he's charming and devilish and that
Or
kind of
it's
stuff.
an anti-hero, right?
Anti-hero, yeah.
But even then, they've got some kind of quality, right? It's like nobody's like, I love you, Cthulhu.
I do, if
You
he doesn't
complete
wanna
me.
torture me for 1,000 years.
Yeah, something. I'm just gonna turn you into a mindless fucking frog man. Like, what a great deal, you know? Do I get to wear a red hat?
Why, yes, you do. Oh my God.
Oh man, Cthulhu jokes all week long, people. Oh, fuck.
There's also the incongruity theory, otherwise known as the incongruous juxtaposition theory, suggests that humor and laughter rely on incongruity, which denotes anything contrary to expectation according to some norm, like a play on words, right? And that was huge, probably in the 20s and 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
All that play on words.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure.
Puns and
Durante.
stuff.
Oh, yeah. Abdominable.
I don't think you mean
Yeah. I think you mean abominable. No, it affects my tummy. So, oh, boy.
Oh my God. And then finally, the benign violation theory, which sounds like a good Saturday night, is that humor emerges when one's sense of how the world ought to be is threatened or violated. So these are all theories of why we find stuff funny and humorous.
Geez, that's interesting.
Yeah. People have actually studied this stuff.
Sure. Yeah, how to take the humor out of humor. Let's turn it into a 4-year course.
Degree.
Just dry it out.
Where'd you get your bachelor's in?
Yeah. Yuck.
Don't tell me any jokes anymore. I don't want to hear anymore. Author E.B. White once said, humor can be dissected as a frog can, but the thing dies in the process, and the innards are discouraging to any but the pure scientific
Jeez,
mind.
thank you, E.B. White.
Right there, yeah.
Isn't that Charlotte's Web?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
that guy.
Don't really think of Charlotte's Web as being a yucker.
There might be funny moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his spiders, and I'm not a big fan of spiders.
Yeah, that's a good book.
But yeah, so I guess what he's trying to say is it's maybe best not to try to figure it out too much. Just laugh when it's funny, right?
Yeah. And I think it's up to the comedian. You got to read the room, bro.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you got to, if people don't get it, it's not funny.
Right.
And then you should just be at home.
Try out some other joke somewhere. Well, you had mentioned earlier one of the oldest forms of humor is the husband and wife stuff, right? Punch and Judy first appeared in England in 1662.
Oh, good, yeah.
I think it came probably from Italy first, but it's basically Mr. Punch and his wife Judy and chasing the little puppet show, chasing each other around
with
the
bats
puppet
and
stage with bats and beating the
rolling
shit out.
pins. Yeah.
You came in late for the last time.
Yeah. Oh my God. Which, I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have, divorce courts and shit back then. I don't know. They didn't have, what's this flip side-to-side singles things? No, they didn't.
They didn't have that stuff, Mike. And then stuff like Handicap and the long...
But they fought.
They fought.
In a big cloud of dust and shit.
Yeah, because he was always coming home drunk or
loaded,
something. Yeah. But all those comic strips and stuff were always... And I don't remember. Was Handicap might have started as like a radio thing?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know either.
But it was a comic strip for a really long time. It might still be for a while.
Probably on its third, writer or whatever. And Rodney Dangerfield famously, Take My Wife, no respect.
Because it's just so, I mean, that doesn't mean it can't be funny, right? But it's, I don't know.
Yeah. In my dad's generation, he thought that shit was funny.
Sure.
He always thought, some of my fondest memories of Dad is when Mom was sort of bitching at him.
But now our old ladies watch true crime. They're coming up with ideas.
How to hide the body.
Yes!
But I just remember, Dad would walk into the kitchen, I'm in there, and Mom's giving him the business, right? Yeah. Like, hey, why didn't you got to take care of this? And he'd come in and be doing the little face and the little... I mean, that's coping, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Confucianists and Neo-Confucian orthodoxy, because Eastern humor is way different than Western humor, I think.
Besides farts. They're still funny.
Had its emphasis on ritual and propriety, have traditionally looked down upon humor as subversive or unseemly. Humor for them was more perceived as irony or sarcasm. That's what they sort of found funny, rather than the exaggerated, Punch and Judy or anything else. Yeah, so more to do with irony and sarcasm. In our Western culture, humor is considered one of the more attractive traits for women, for men, for women. If a man is humorous, then he's more attractive to women.
Yeah, sure. Yes. Man, thank you. Won it all.
Yes, just recently, a majority of American college students, female college students, reported that having a sense of humor is a crucial characteristic looked for in a romantic partner.
Jeez, I know.
Which is great.
You can say a lot about somebody, and their style of humor, right? If it's always punching down or is kind of mean-spirited or whatever, that says something.
It really does.
If it's just a natural, innate hilarity, that says something else, right?
I mean, there's the self-deprecating humor, which I kind of find funny if somebody's picking, but it's that punch-down stuff is just that aggressive humor.
It's weird. It's weird. It's just lazy to me. Just it just seems lazy. But sometimes lazy can be funny. So I'm not going to throw the baby with the bathwater. It's whatever's appropriate at the time, So would I punch down on a crippled Nazi? Maybe.
I mean, there's other reasons, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Aren't all Nazis kind of crippled?
Yeah, well, only intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally.
Humanly. Research on humor and psychological well-being show that humor is in fact a major factor in achieving and sustaining higher psychological well-being. So having that sense of humor and being able to laugh and bring that out, I think it makes for a better life, right?
Yeah, quality of life. But even are they suggesting as a coping mechanism?
Yeah.
Or whatever? Or,
that's what we'll probably get into here next. Laughter is good medicine, right? Yeah, because being exposed to humor can actually increase pain tolerance, right? So put you in a good mood. Maybe the broken arm doesn't hurt as bad, or whatever.
And
malady you've
was it
got.
last week or week before you had brought up picking a swear word?
Yes,
So
swearing
same
is something.
sort of effect then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. And I
Yeah.
wonder if that is an endorphin thing? Is
That's
that
what I was
just
just going to say. I wonder if it releases a bunch of endorphins.
or
in
what?
the
I
brain.
don't know if it's endorphin brand, but you know what I mean. Whatever chemical soup that is, that
Right.
kind of. I don't know. But
Yeah,
that's
because
interesting.
we talked about the swear word sort of releases like that adrenaline and stuff that right into your muscles that help you
Yep.
fight off that pain.
Yeah.
That
So it
fight
might
or
not
flight
be
thing. But,
sure.
But I just being in a better mood generally
I would think. Yeah.
would be more healthy.
Yes. It
they
just
also-
makes life less shitty.
It does. They also say that humor, having a healthy sense of humor, might also lead to having a healthy immune system. Study participants were shown a short humorous video clip and then tested for the effects. The participants showed a significant increase in SIG-A levels. Not sure what SIG-A levels are. Oh, it's a type of antibody that protects the body from infections.
Jeez, that's
So that's
interesting.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I wonder why. Why would those two go hand in hand?
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Because I could see the fight or flight thing doing that, right? But like an adrenal function, right?
Right.
Because you don't want to bleed out, and then if you do get, clawed by something, you want to be able to not get infected.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
but
it's
why
that
with
bear
humor?
comes up and
Yeah.
starts messing with that saber-toothed tiger and just start telling it jokes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Tickle, tickle.
Take my wife, please.
I don't know. That's interesting.
There's also been claims that laughter can be a supplement for cardiovascular exercise.
Oh, yeah.
And might increase muscle tone.
Geez, I've had some moments where I have cracked up and felt it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, right in the core.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good. falling out of chairs. It's so good. I love it. Love it.
And it didn't hurt as bad when you fell out of the chair, right?
Yeah. It's so so good.
Humor is often used to ease tension, and it might make sense that the same would be true for anxiety. So just breaking up, I don't know, like if I go into a room with a bunch of people I don't know and I'm feeling a little anxious, tell a few jokes or try to be witty and stuff like that, and, try to
It
break the
disarms
ice.
people.
Yeah, exactly.
Shows them where you're from and all that kind of stuff, right?
I usually just grab them by the collar and stare them down.
Yeah. You want to see something really scary.
It's more like, do you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Humor has also been shown to improve and help the aging process in 3 areas. Physical health, improving social communications, and helping to achieve a sense of satisfaction in life.
Jeez.
So, it's so important. And that's why we try to be funny for you folks.
Yeah, and we're saving your lives, people. They're like, no, you're making it go on and on and on and on.
Saving lives, so go be a subscriber right now. Other benefits such as high self-esteem, lower levels of depression, lower levels of anxiety and perceived stress, and a more positive self-concept can all lead to a better life.
Sure,
So,
that's great.
humor.
And can be attributed to like having the ability to have a sense of humor, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then because because if you can laugh, you're not taking it too serious, right?
Yeah, and being able to laugh at certain situations, that just feel overwhelming and too much, you can not say laugh it off, but it brings down,
Sure.
and sort of, I don't know, I feel like
Gets the steam out in a healthy
and
way.
maybe a relaxing thing so you can sort of recompartmentalize everything and take care of business.
Yeah, carry
kind of
it,
thing.
yeah.
Geez.
Yeah.
And sort of lastly, what Mike was talking about earlier, and the one thing I don't like is the aggressive humor, which is the style of humor that is potentially detrimental towards others, right?
Sure.
This type of humor is characterized by the use of sarcasm, put-downs, teasing, criticism, ridicule, and other types of humor used at the expense of others.
Yeah, which
right.
I don't know.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah, it's just
very gross.
unnecessary and it's just lazy.
Yeah.
Right? It's just dumb.
And that's where a lot of prejudices, sexism, racism, stuff like that come out.
Can blur it out because they're like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Right, trying to put a weird,
Exactly.
cowardly angle to it, right? It's like instead of just taking lumps for blurting something or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not telling people what to say, right? But don't go easy. Don't take the short path. Isn't necessarily the funny path.
No.
Right?
No.
And humor should be work. Jokes are work.
Sending somebody home, if it makes you laugh and makes somebody else feel bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's too heavy of a price or whatever. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I try not to do appearance jokes or humor at all because it just seems low-hanging fruit, right? And stuff like that. It's like, you know what I mean? There's other things to be funny about anyway besides other humans, period. Right? And it's like...
And I know in my youths, a lot of appearance jokes, right? I'd make fun of people that were too fat, too what I perceived as ugly, or they wore stupid clothes, or they acted a certain way, or they, and like you said, if they're not a Nazi, then, why belittle somebody else to make yourself feel good? Yeah. That's just bullshit.
And it's an empty goodness that someone might feel.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's not real achievement.
Yeah.
Right. But one time when I was a kid, Jimmy Glimp's cousin was over, and she was kind of a bigger lady, and she was saying something to Jimmy, and she was on her bicycle, and he said, "Are those steel-belted radials on there?" And we knew what he meant, and we ran because she was going to beat our asses, but we knew what he meant, and we fucking laughed. Oh man.
Going to hell for that one, Mike. Going to hell.
Man, we were kids, and I was the slowest of us. So they were all tall,
long legs.
Yeah. Oh man, she was gonna beat us. So
I think you were probably the slipperiest one, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. What sort of influenced your sense of humor from back in the day? Did you like movies or stand-up comics? What did comedies?
Steve Martin. For me, my first big comic or whatever, I was probably 9 or 10 or whatever, and Steve Martin.
I'd say that's my first too.
And
it was the first album I bought.
Yeah, and The Jerk came along.
Yeah,
and to me as a kid,
amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah,
because it's just so dumb. And and my dad wasn't mad; he was funny as hell, and my brother was funny as fuck. Oh yeah. And just dangerous enough to keep it moving.
Yeah, my dad wasn't a joke teller, but he was a goofy dude.
Yeah.
So he would just, and you wouldn't expect it because he's, not a big guy, but he was a man's man, strong, working blue collar guy. And when he would come in and he would do some weird little dance, or he'd come in and act like a chimpanzee or something, just out of the blue. And that shit was funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I do that to my kids.
Yes. It's a dad thing.
I think it is a dad thing.
Just to break it all up, right? Because we get stuck in dad mode, right? So it's nice. But but as far as professional comics, it was
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin for sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like because KCPQ Channel 13 here and KSTW, which was Channel 11 growing up, they were the places for the reruns, the syndicated shows. Yeah. So we would get the Taxis and the Three's Company and stuff like that. And I feel like I really grew up on a lot of those old sitcoms, All in the Family, and
for sure, Jefferson.
What was the one with JJ Walker? Well, What's Happening?
Yeah,
stuff like that. Just grew up on that. laugh track, right?
Sure.
MASH was huge. And I did.
You couldn't get away from MASH. He was on every day for 30 years.
Yeah, and multiple channels. It was like never not on TV somewhere in the world, right? But some of that humor sort of went over my head, but I kind of laughed at it anyway because everybody else thought it was funny, according to the laugh track.
Yes,
right?
and in a 2-hour period, those 4 sitcoms are throwing, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jokes out.
Yes.
Right, and some of them land and some don't, you know, but, and also, there were, like on Welcome Back Kotter, like Charles Fleischer was on there. Like, that guy's a great stand-up, right? But he was also a weird side character on, Welcome Back Kotter. It's it's neat.
And a ton of the slapstick stuff, the physical comedy. I got, looking like the Jack Tripper stuff. And,
he was really good at that.
Super good at that. Superb at that. But even looking at some of the old stuff, like the I Love Lucy stuff, man.
Dick Van Dyke Show for me, dude. Love it. That was on Channel 11.
Was that on Channel 11?
I think the reruns
for
were
a while.
Yeah. Like during when you were homesick or something.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But great show. And the supporting cast was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, because that's a Carl Reiner joint.
It is a Carl Reiner thing,
that's right.
But we were like the latchkey generation. So for me, it was like I come home from school, and we would walk home because we're not that far away, but we'd get home from school pretty quick, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and they'd be doing, sitcoms for 4 hours till dinner time, till the 6 o'clock news or whatever came on, right? 5 o'clock news came on. So it'd be like 2 hours in front of the TV till mom came home, and then rush upstairs to do your chores.
Act like you're doing something, You could hear the car.
got any homework?
2 blocks. My dad always had old cars. I could hear that dude like a block and a half.
Rush in and get your shit done. But and then after dinner, there was more stuff. And then the 80s had a lot of great sitcoms. I don't know if you're a big TV watcher in the 80s, if your family was or not. But
I remember, what was I watching in the 80s? Cheers, right?
Cheers, for sure. That was a show Mom and I enjoyed watching together. That's Thursday night lineup that they had.
That had
Hill Street Blues. Yes. I think it was Cosby, Family Ties, Cheers, Night Court, Hill Street Blues.
Wow.
It was all on one channel in one night.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That
was a big deal at the time.
Yeah. That was huge.
And I don't think revisited any of it.
No. Yeah. A lot of good TV, though. Cheers was great, but here I am, like 13, 14, and the main character is like a womanizing alcoholic, bartender guy. With adult problems.
But a cool supporting cast. Pretty quick, Rhea Perlman. That was the thing. Ted Danson hasn't stopped working.
No. He's been...
and he's an actor more than a comedian, right? He just happens to be in a lot of comedy.
Yeah, because I saw him in Creep Show. Remember him in Creep Show?
Oh, yeah. That was early on. That was like 82, maybe?
Yes. Yeah, and that was that Leslie Nielsen? No. Was it Leslie Nielsen that buried him in the sand?
I don't remember.
He was sleeping with his wife or whatever.
I haven't seen it since it came out, I think. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, and then, like you said, a lot of those comedy albums after Steve Martin, somewhere found George Carlin and Richard Pryor. And I don't know what year, but just...
Yeah, so Big Steve, his big brothers had those records, so that's where I found that stuff. AM, FM from Carlin. We just listened to them over and over and over.
Yeah. Just hilarious.
Yeah.
Nice stuff.
Oh, yeah, and Pryor, it's incredible. It's his ability to deliver jokes was just so good. Just really good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
and stuff that you wouldn't normally joke about, he was able to put into and it was more like you said earlier, you could say the words, but it's not funny unless you have the right delivery. These are words that you wouldn't put into a joke normally, but the delivery made it funny.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, and Paul Mooney was riding with him, right?
Yeah, I think
for
so.
Decades.
And Paul Mooney ended up writing for Chappelle.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Didn't he do a lot of stuff with Pryor too? Wrote some of his movies, or
I don't know about the movie part. Yeah, I did. God bless Richard most part. But most of his movies, to me, aren't as good as his delivery of stand-up. Because you could tell there he had a director, there was a lot of other hands in the act, right?
His stand-up was far superior
that's his
than
act,
his movie.
I think. And maybe, I'm sure he had, people around him, right? But
hands in writing stuff.
yeah, but it was his act, you could tell. Right?
Yeah. I think
Or
he
should have made
wrote
it
a
seem
lot
that way to
of
me.
Blazing Saddles, but didn't take the credit for it for whatever contractual
I think
reasons.
he was still pretty hot right then.
Oh, was he?
Oh, man.
I just listened to some Pryor and Carlin on a recent road trip down to Portland and back, and just still holds up, man. If you get a chance, if you haven't heard any other stand-up stuff, just grab an album. It's super good.
Yeah, and just take it for exactly what it is.
Yes. Yeah. Don't worry about.
And also, Red Fox had some blue stuff, right, on vinyl.
Yeah, I tried to listen to some Red
Flip
Fox
Wilson
stuff.
wasn't really blue.
No.
You know what I mean? He was a character, a person of many characters or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But
every Red Fox that I've listened to seems like he's just doing not dad jokes, but he's just doing a joke. It's like the delivery's just.
it's old-timey.
It's old-timey. It's very old-timey. It's not that flow that we're used to seeing, like the Eddie Murphy or
the modern
even the
stuff,
Jerry
yeah,
Seinfeld. He's kind of telling a short story.
Yeah, but it
and
doesn't
then-
seem like he's telling jokes.
Right.
Yes.
And Red Fox seems like he's telling jokes.
Yeah, and just like a Dangerfield. Or,
Yeah.
Biggest pile of pig shit I'd ever seen. Just all the head, good traveling to the Hamptons to do bits.
Right.
Yeah, but fuck, I criticize it anyway. It's really hard. And to make strangers who can turn hostile any second. Right? It's your house, like you say, your dad coming in as a gorilla or whatever. It's like, that's a known, he knows the house. Like, I talk about reading the room. It's his fucking room. But it's hard.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, and I've never played a stadium show in my life.
Right.
But the good thing about a stadium show is you can't see them.
Yeah.
Right? There's lights in your face. You don't know if they're having a good time or not. Not really. Right? You can kind of feel it, but not in the same way. It's like, but in a bar or whatever, smoky bar where like,
Everybody's right there.
oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're either getting them or not, and
You're getting that instant
it's just so
response.
immediate.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's a tough way to make a living.
tough.
Oh man, from what I hear.
But God bless them for
Yeah.
doing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Jeez. Man.
Yeah, Diller was the first female.
Yes.
She was huge.
Yes.
Huge. And funny.
And that's 50s, right?
Yeah.
When she started out.
Oh, and she was on Scooby-Doo and shit.
Yes,
That lady
I know.
arrived.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All over the place. And all wasn't she like Hollywood Squares and all those type of things?
Just a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her and, I don't know, all those guys, Jim J. Bullock and all those people that stayed on those shows that did the circuit.
Oh,
right.
it's so good. Yeah, and who's like, Paul, I want to be able to do his, I'm working on it. It's like we got to incorporate him somewhere.
We need him in there. What the hell was his name?
Paul, fuck, he's funny as hell, man. So dumb.
Is he still alive?
I don't know.
Man.
Yeah. Shtick's I don't think I'm a shtick. I'm this, right?
Right.
But that's a different thing to grab a character like a Pee-wee or a Latka Gravis
Yes.
or, I don't even think that, you don't have to go that far, right? But, you know what I mean? To lock into a persona is an interesting phenomenon.
Yeah.
And some of them are humorous, some of them are rock stars, some of them are actors, some of them are preachers.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, it's an interesting ability of humans to kind of redefine our outward
and then be able
persona.
to flip back into it.
What the
and be
fuck?
yeah.
Remember on WKRP when Johnny Fever went too far? He got locked into his character or whatever?
I sort of remember that
It's a cool episode because it shows that Howard Hessman can actually act.
Right.
Because he's trying to break back out of this kind of like Hollywood version of himself. It's pretty cool.
God, I like the WKRP. Yeah.
Bailey. The older I get, the more Bailey's the one.
Yes. Yeah. Over
I saw
Lonnie
kind of a
Anderson.
Bailey the other day. I'm like, it's a good look.
Yeah.
It's a solid look. Still, to this day.
Yeah. Yes, Bailey, I love you. Yeah. She didn't do much after that.
I don't know. Yeah,
the
I don't
actor.
know.
I don't know. I can't even tell you her name, but
Maybe it was Angela Lansbury the whole time.
yeah.
I mean, that's some, that's 2 hours in the chair there.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah, and
transformation.
that's one of those shows. I mean, everybody talks about the Thanksgiving Day episode on that when they dropped the
Well
frozen
written.
turkey
Yeah.
or dropped the turkeys that couldn't fly.
So good. So good. But the phone police episode is good.
I'm trying to remember the phone
Fuck,
police.
you haven't seen me. You don't know me. Because you think there's the phone police because he like broke a telephone or something. So good. Or the one where he's taking a sobriety test on the air.
Oh, and he's getting better.
He's getting better and better.
Venus is just all.
And Johnny's he's
getting
just
straight.
getting into it. It's so good.
And the state trooper's getting all pissed off.
Yeah, I felt at the time, and I haven't revisited that either, but that it was a well-written show.
Yeah.
And like Barney Miller, I enjoyed because they're kind of the same time period.
Yeah.
But Barney Miller had a lot of like da-da-da, laugh, da-da-da, laugh, da-da-da.
And serious moments.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
But just the way it was written for the pause or whatever, and I feel like WKRP wasn't necessarily that.
Yeah,
You know.
I did do because there wasn't that many seasons of Barney Miller. I don't remember how many there were. I do remember my parents talking about Jack Sue when he died and what they were going to do, and jumping in and watching that episode with them because it was like a special episode. It was going to be a Jack Sue tribute kind of a thing.
Oh, that's nice.
And I did like him because he had that very dry sense of
Very
humor
dry.
on there. Yeah, the coffee, the bad coffee all the time and stuff like that. But
And I mean, he was relatively young. I remember at the time he was
40s or 50s,
something like that.
yeah.
Like I want to say like mid 40s or something.
Yeah.
Because at the time I'm like, oh, geez, that's my parents are about that old.
Right. Yeah. So I watched. It took me a week or two to get through them, but I watched the entire series, and it was good. I mean, it's dated, of course.
Sure.
It's very much locked into after the first season, because the first season I think they did more at Barney's apartment with his wife and stuff, but subsequent seasons were always just in that squad room. So it was the main squad room and Barney's office is all you ever saw.
Yeah.
Which I get, makes for a cheap
It does.
production.
Well,
but-
3 sets are way more expensive than 2.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. But I never did like that. I wanted to get out of the squad room a little bit more, but yeah, geez.
Would you recommend revisiting that?
I enjoyed it. I would recommend maybe watching a few episodes and see if you're into it.
Got more rhymes than Abe Vigoda. Yeah, star of the
Abe
first.
Vigoda.
He's in the first Godfather film, right?
Godfather, yes. Can he get me out of this? Can Michael get me out of this? Yeah.
He's cool, and then he's in like a low budget. No, I don't know, but one where. It's a Jewish Seder movie. It's a comedy. The family gets together for like a Seder feast, and he's the grandpa that's like always ready to like get out. He's got a good, bug out bag ready for when the fascists come and shit. He's ready. And like
He's not falling for it again.
Yeah, he's not falling for it. And it's a comedy, but it's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't remember the name of it, but I laughed.
Yeah, they were going to make a spin-off series with him.
Like his Godfather character?
No, on Barney Miller.
Oh, that's cool.
Fish.
He
and his wife took in some foster kids, and and I don't know if the series got picked up for a few episodes because he left Barney Miller for a little bit, and they did some episodes with these kids, and then he ends up coming back to the show, I think, at some point, something like that. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of spin-offs.
And for the record, the reason there's so many detective shows is people love crimes being solved.
Yes.
Nobody's mad at that.
Yes.
But nobody likes to be patrolled.
Right.
Right? So that's
Yeah.
where the friction can find.
that's true.
Nobody's mad when a murderer gets hunted down by dedicated police detectives.
Yes.
Nobody's mad at that.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody loves Olivia Benson and Stabler and
Yeah.
dun dun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
The Law and Order guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bonk. Never seen it.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, Mike, sharing is caring.
Oh, yes.
What have you been up to this week, sir?
Well, geez, we're preparing to put Mr. Stephen Earl Clymer to rest. So, tomorrow, Friday, there's 2 services for him, and just, I've been trying to keep everybody as together as I can,
Yeah.
So it's just it's one of those things where, when a foundational person is gone, right?
Yeah.
It's just so big of a deal that it can't really happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of small steps into even realizing that it has happened, right?
Fade in or fade out
it's just
into
bonkers.
this.
It's just bonkers. So that's what and I mean that. I don't mean to be a parade of raining cloud here, but be good to each other, right? Because that's the thing.
Yeah, hug your family.
Yeah,
Tell them you love them.
Yeah, just a kind word here or there.
Yeah.
Let them know you got their back, right? Because not everybody feels like somebody has their back, and it's very precious.
Sorry to interrupt. We got like bubbles. I think a kid in the back seat was blowing these massive bubbles.
Nice.
Look at our fans blowing us bubbles.
Yeah, it's
nice. So you folks, this will be last week, but a funeral service tomorrow, followed by a community celebration of life.
Yeah,
So,
should be nice.
Yeah. Geez.
Yeah, geez. So we're all worth kindness, people.
Yeah,
so that's a good lesson, good takeaway for me, because he was always, every last 17 years of my life, I've been around him a lot, and never unkind, not once. Right, which is a practice.
Did you know the Clymers?
I did tertially, yeah.
Okay.
No, because I'm older than the kids are.
Yeah.
But their cousins, the Carlsons, are Bryn Mawr kids.
Okay.
So I grew up with those guys.
Okay.
And I worked at Lermont's and shit. Everybody went to Lermont's. It's like, but we were hanging out. Plus, that was a long hair, skateboarding and.
But Renton is not a small town, but it's a small town.
It's a small town, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, so they saw me with a hairnet on, carrying bus tubs.
It's that kid. A little rocker kid.
Oh, so gross. Just sweaty all the time. Oh, man.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Doing any door work or band stuff over the weekend?
No. Did set up the GoPro, so I've been taking that footage and then brought it to the sound guy. He's got a mini iMac or whatever, so put it onto there, and he built a YouTube, Lucky Liquor YouTube channel.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and hopefully the goal is to get live streaming going from there, and at least throw up archive stuff.
During actual live?
Yeah, ideally, because we did get it to where it's on the monitors now, and so the next step is to get it on the monitors outside as well, because that's people who are already there. But then, live stream to YouTube or something. But I think you have to throw up a certain amount of videos before allow you to live stream or something.
Oh, okay.
And then,
I know there's when I was there last time, it was a sold out show, and you guys were turning people away at the door.
Geez. Oh, wow. Because
it's not a big.
It's never gone over capacity, ever.
No. Yeah. Do bands have to to be live streamed or to archive? Do they have to sort of agree to it?
No, not that I'm aware of. So, because they're in it's not a public space.
Right.
I don't know. Nobody's ever said anything to me about it.
Yeah. Most bands want their stuff out there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's like,
so
ooh, I'm going to... Like somebody at Hallmark saw, I'm going to use that. I'm going to make a Christmas card. Like, I don't think anybody's stealing that property. But maybe, I don't know.
Who knows?
But I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And what if they're a cover band? Is that a problem?
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, I guess if the AI in YouTube
Right.
recognizes
Says, oh, no,
it.
that's, somebody else's song.
That's,
Yeah.
Def
I don't
Leppard.
know. But that's not really my department.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's
Our
fun.
town,
Getting some.
thank you.
Yeah. Get some good use out of the GoPro, though.
Yeah, which is nice.
Do you hold it?
No,
as you're
I
doing-
bought
okay.
just a cheap, mounting bracket with just a threaded end, and you mounted that up in the corner. I run a power cord to it, and it's like a 3.4 watt USB-C, so it keeps it going the whole time. It hadn't overheated now, so that's nice. Yeah, and the 128 gigs is about 5 hours worth of
Right.
film.
Yeah. So you get the whole night.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you kind of get the whole weekend because they're like 15-minute sets sometimes.
Yeah.
That's fine. Which is, that's how it is.
Nice.
But yeah, what do you got? What's up?
Oh, not much. We haven't done a whole lot, just working this week. Wife went out of town last weekend. Yeah, not a lot going on. Just a lot of work stuff, which I hate. Geez, I've been watching. There's a show on Amazon that's been on there for a while called Goliath, and it stars Billy Bob Thornton.
All right.
And he's an attorney. And I was really hoping that there would be more attorney stuff, like courtroom drama, like the Perry Mason stuff, the gotcha stuff. And there's a little bit of that, but most of the time it's more character driven, especially centered around him and his character. He's sort of a disgraced alcoholic attorney that was at the top of his game, that I think he lost a murder case, or he got a murderer off on a technicality, and then that guy went out and killed somebody, and then he just like downward spiral. And then William Hurt's in it. It plays his old partner, and he does a good job. So the story is I'd give it like a B. The acting, I'd give it more of a B plus, A minus kind of a thing. Some of the seasons, and they brought in some big names. They've got Dennis Quaid is in a season. I can't think of her name, so I'll think of somebody else. But yeah, I think everybody does a decent job.
Is Thornton producing or anything?
Probably.
I would think. I'd be surprised otherwise.
But they did 4 seasons. I think it ended probably 2021, 22. So and there are 8 episode seasons for the 4 of them.
Yeah.
So I've made it through 3 seasons over the past couple of weeks. It's kind of one of those background shows when I'm doing other stuff. It's kind of in the background show. But yeah, interesting stuff this past season. I won't spoil too much, even though it's been out a few years. Somebody's sort of drug. He keeps going back to this place, and because he drinks a lot, but they were probably dosing him with peyote or something, because he has these wild like trip out, and everybody's like, "Hey, good to see you again." He's like, "I've never been here."
Oh man!
But he has been there, and he's trying to figure out when he was there and how he was there and stuff like that. So, interesting show. Wanted more courtroom Perry Mason stuff, but. Also been watching House of David, which is a new production on Amazon. Yeah, speaking of Goliath.
Yeah, what do you think?
I kind of like it.
Do they have British accents?
They need that guy. They do. I mean, they bring out an actual giant and stuff. I mean, it's based on the biblical tales. I think it's more of the Christian Bible than it is of the Torah, the Old Testament, rather than the Torah. And I only say that because it just feels very Christian film-driven kind of narrative. And they claim that they've tried to follow as closely as they can the biblical, historical biblical stuff, but also have embellished to be a better storytelling thing.
Because it's television.
Because it's television. And I think they're trying to do 3 seasons of this, which is like, but David was the man for quite a long time in the
so they're not
tradition.
just doing his youthful days.
That's where I'm at right now. So first season, so I'm like, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes in, and he's just on his way to face Goliath.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
So Saul is in his throes of craziness because God has taken his anointment away, right? Samuel has come and said there will be another because you disobeyed, kind of a thing. So he's kind of going crazy, and Goliath the Philistines have showed up on the doorstep, right? And Goliath has come out, and they're like, no, he's like, I ain't fucking that dude. I'm out. I'm out. So it's interesting. I never delved historically.
Gotta call Jason Statham. Stat.
He'd kick a fucking megalodon. Are you kidding me? I never. I mean, I did Sunday school and stuff like that, but never sort of delved into. And I know the story, right? The kid comes out and defeats the giant with the sling and the rock, right? Classic little guy versus big guy. But never delved into the story all that much. So I am learning a little bit, but it's also forcing me to kind of go to other sources to kind of get the real story. So I enjoy history and stuff. So it's kind of a cool way to balance it. So.
And it's the production values are good?
Production value is decent, I mean, is like a modern television show when they're trying to, show two opposing armies. Like, you can see a little bit of the CGI, the
dust out.
The created army people, like they've got 20 guys here, and they sort of
it's the same 20 dudes.
But it's not bad. Most recognizable actor, and there's a couple of them. There's the guy that played. We were talking about the Mummy earlier. Remember the guy that played the Egyptian secret protectors of the Mummy? The main guy. He's in it. He plays Saul's main advisor in the movie, and Saul looks like a familiar actor. And then the guy that plays Samuel is actually Stephen Lang. Which I thought was kind of interesting. So, because he's been doing all those blind horror movies where he's the blind guy and he's fucking with people that break into his house.
Why does this keep happening?
Stay out of the dude's house, man. Anyway, I mean, as far as media consumption, that's been about it, I think. And I've been enjoying, we were talking about this earlier, I've been enjoying the interaction we've been getting from you folks there on social media and YouTube and stuff. I feel like starting to grow a little bit, starting to sprout. It's springtime.
It is spring. Yes, help us sprout.
Help us sprout.
Be the tinkle.
Well, Mike and I are going to come back and do our bonus round, which is the top 5 that we do. I think tonight's top 5 we're doing jokes, dad jokes, or best jokes that we know, sort of thing. And I had to think about a lot of jokes that I've used over the years, right? So come back and join us for that if you can. All you have to do is go to Patreon, look for us there, sign up, be a member, and then go to our Dash Town podcast and sign up as a member there, and you'll get all kinds of content.
More
it's
all
cool
the time.
stuff.
So, and we appreciate each and every one of it, honestly.
And especially the Jakarta 12 or 9 or 6 or whatever it is. Well, ending this on something positive, Mike. Mark Twain, America's maybe best known early humorist, maybe. He said that humor is the great thing, the saving things after all. The minute it crops up, all of our hardnesses yield, all of our irritations and resentments flit away, and a sunny spirit takes their place. So again,
that's nice.
Laugh and laugh often. Live, laugh, love.
God knows that's our motto. Yeah. We share the tattoo.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. Our best wishes to the Clymer family
thank you,
everybody
yes.
affected,
Yep.
and our best wishes to Jeff. Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, come on, Jeffrey. We got work, bro.
Next week, man.
Yep.
So,
All right.
thanks, buddy. See ya.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, vlogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.